Hey everybody, welcome back to the stream and the video if you're watching it after the fact. Today I figured we would talk about Kliff Kingsbury, just so people didn't call me a hater or whatever else because I'm a Texas Tech fan. Here in Lubbock, it seems like everybody still loves Kingsbury, regardless of how unsuccessful he was as a coach here at Texas Tech, which is just strange to me. I kind of like him. I played under him in 2018, but I don't know. I like him, but I'll go ahead and cover him because I do think he is overrated based on his success with Arizona this year. To start off, we'll do a fun fact. Kliff Kingsbury is the first of three Texas Tech true freshman quarterbacks to win Offensive Player of the Year for the Big 12. Texas Tech is the only school to have more than two rookies, freshmen, whatever you want to call them, win Offensive Player of the Year. So the other two, Kingsbury actually coached. So I guess you could call that a form of success. We'll cover who they are here in a minute. So to start off Kingsbury's coaching career, he got to go coach at the University of Houston as the quality control coach under the head coach who was the offensive coordinator here at Tech when Kingsbury played. The next year he got to move up to offensive coordinator and coached Case Keenum at quarterback for the University of Houston, U of H, which was kind of cool. And then while at Houston, he earned the trust of what's that guy's name? The guy who coached at A&M, Kevin Sumlin, and Kevin Sumlin took him to A&M with him when he went to be the head coach at Texas A&M. At Texas A&M, Kliff Kingsbury then got to coach Johnny Manziel, and yeah, we all know how that went. Johnny Manziel was the first freshman in Heisman history to win the trophy and almost went back to back. Unfortunately, he couldn't get his life straightened out and figure it out in the big leagues, but still one of the greatest freshman performances I've ever seen by a quarterback. And then moving on, he coached at A&M for a couple of years and then got hired at Texas Tech as a head coach. Maybe simply because he was an alumni. Texas Tech is one of those colleges that seems to always hire alumni, whether it's a Dykes or Kingsbury or Cumby as our offensive coordinator this last year. We just love hiring alumni. Even Mark Adams, who's our basketball coach. And at Texas Tech, Kliff Kingsbury was very unsuccessful with the talent he had around him. He underperformed with quarterbacks that have all made it to the NFL, such as Baker Mayfield, who at the time was a walk-on, so that was a really good pickup by Kingsbury, and then had Davis Webb play after Mayfield got hurt with an ankle injury later in the season or leg injury, I think it might have been a knee, against Kansas. And Davis Webb is a backup in the NFL. Mayfield's a starter. And then after that, he had Mahomes come in, who we all know who Patrick Mahomes is. He's maybe the greatest individually gifted quarterback in the NFL currently, behind probably Aaron Rodgers all time when it comes to skill set. And then Mayfield transferred to Oklahoma. All hell broke loose, it seemed like, with that. And then Kingsbury was fired as the Texas Tech head coach after going 5-7, just underperforming with such an enormous amount of talent behind him. Because not only did he have Mayfield and Mahomes in them, but he also had wide receivers on the team like Danny Amendola and Kiki QT, and defensive players like Brooks, who just set the franchise tackle record for the Seahawks at linebacker. So we just underperformed for the amount of talent he had. These guys are successful in the NFL and setting records and everything, and the dude just couldn't make Texas Tech a good football team, which a lot have struggled with. Yeah, that's really all I have. He is now the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, where he had a very depressing first 2 years, I want to say. The Cardinals have been kind of the worst team in their division for a while now. They have probably the best division in football with the Seahawks and the Rams and the 49ers, but this year they finally made the playoffs. They were the last undefeated team up to week 7 until they lost to the Green Bay Packers with all backup wide receivers. So that was kind of sad. And then after that, they've only won a couple more games. They lost last week to cost them a seeding in the playoffs, and now they have to play the Rams as opposed to playing an easier matchup against, I think they would have played the Cowboys. And so that is where we stand. I personally think that the Cardinals are going to lose to the Rams this next week in the playoffs. Sean McVay is just a much better young coach than Kingsbury is, at least more experienced in the NFL, and he's been on this stage before. But hopefully Kingsbury can prove me wrong and turn it around, as I wish for all of these coaches that I've talked about so far. Maybe Arians wins another Super Bowl or has success without Brady after he retires. And maybe Chris Beard makes it to the Elite Eight or something for the University of Texas and posts a higher defensive rating than Texas Tech this year or next year. I'm not one to wish the downfall on any coaches. I just want people to get credit where credit is due and people to not get credit for things that they're not doing right. Yeah.